In this chapter, I'll discuss the methodology we've developed to ensure incremental code reform recommendations, like the ones we've made in Enabling Better Places, a zoning guide for Vermont neighborhoods, are context sensitive to local conditions. The first step in the process of ensuring context sensitivity is that when CNU does code reform work in any given state, we collaborate with state partners as well as regional and local experts. In Vermont, CNU brought our national coding experts of Susan Henderson of Placemakers, Jennifer Hurley of Hurley Franks and Associates, and Bill Spakowski of Spakowski Planning Associates. Our team worked directly with the Department of Housing and Community Development staff, with representatives from AARP Vermont and the Vermont Realtors Association and the Vermont Housing and Conservation Board. And together, we all partnered with regional planning commissions from across the state in examining the regulatory barriers to affordable and accessible housing, determining the most successful strategies for reforming bylaws in order to address those obstacles. The first step in this process is doing research and analysis, looking at the current conditions of bylaws across the state, both of the regulations themselves, but also the capacity that those regulations and their related processes demand, in order to determine where reform may be possible. With the crucial collaboration of regional planning commissions from across Vermont, we then identified 6 case study communities: Brattleboro, Castleton, Fairfax, Ludlow, Middlesex, and Vergennes, that best exemplified common conditions and would be helpful testing grounds for reform recommendations. Then, in a workshop format, we discussed the challenges these communities are facing with them. We talked about the opportunities they see, where they need the most help. As common themes began to emerge, our team was able to get a sense of what the biggest little things, as we like to call them, might be, to incrementally reform just those areas of local bylaws that are creating the most problem for creating more affordable and accessible housing. Following the sessions with the case study communities, the team then worked on those common recommendations that would apply to most towns and villages across Vermont, and that could have the biggest impact toward enabling the outcomes communities are seeking. Later in this training course, Susan Henderson will be getting into the details of how our team organizes these recommendations and how they can be calibrated to your local bylaws. With the help from the Department of Housing and Community Development, and especially the Regional Planning Commission partners and case study communities facing affordable housing challenges head-on in their towns and villages, Enabling Better Places, a zoning guide for Vermont neighborhoods, has been ground-truthed and reviewed to ensure that the recommendations make sense and are appropriate to the unique Vermont rural context, and that they will work to enable the change communities are seeking. Finally, the incremental code reform methodology relies on this part of the process, the training and education of folks who will actually be using the document and implementing the reform it encourages. From this point forward, CNU's role is far less significant. The real work now lies with you all, participating in this course and bringing these techniques back to your town or village, and then identifying and acting on those bite-sized challenges that you can make to your bylaws in order to enable more affordable housing and more walkable areas in your own communities.